What if the things that broke you were never accidents? What if the delays, the rejections, even the heartbreaks were all part of a quiet design you couldn't see yet? The universe is not random. It is always responding to who you're becoming. You weren't forgotten. You were being shaped. In this video, we'll explore a truth that Buddhism has whispered for centuries. Nothing is coincidence. Every moment is part of a deeper unfolding meant to guide you, awaken you, and lead you home to yourself. So ask yourself, what if the pain had purpose? Before we begin with number 1, subscribe to Deep Wisdom, where every video is a doorway to calm, clarity, and timeless Buddhist insight you won't find anywhere else. And yes, there's a powerful bonus lesson waiting at the end. Don't miss it. Let's begin. 1. The moment that broke you was the moment that opened you. There is a moment in every life when everything falls apart. A word is spoken, a door is slammed, a silence stretches too long, and suddenly you feel split, broken in a way that makes no noise but shakes your entire world. Why does the soul seem to awaken only after it's been shattered? The ancient ones would tell us, the wound is where the light begins to pour in, not as poetry, but as truth. Imagine a clay pot, simple, silent, whole. But when it cracks, something unexpected happens. Light passes through. The same vessel that once held water now glows. This is the unseen gift of being broken. You weren't destroyed. You were being opened. In Buddhist teaching, suffering is not a punishment. It is an invitation. An invitation to see more deeply, to feel more honestly, and to live more awake. The first noble truth reminds us, life contains suffering. But the second truth reminds us that suffering has a cause, and so it also has a purpose. When we resist the pain, we tighten. But when we sit with it, breathe with it, listen to it, something begins to shift. Take a moment now, close your eyes, breathe into the place that still aches, not to fix it, just to feel it. What is it trying to tell you? What lesson has waited quietly behind the curtain of that hurt? So many of us spend years trying to erase the pain, to forget the betrayal, to undo the loss. But what if that very moment, the one that brought you to your knees, was the moment your spirit began to rise? Not loud, not fast, but real. In my own path, I remember a time when someone I trusted deeply walked away without explanation. I was left with questions that had no answers. But in that emptiness, something remarkable unfolded. I began to meet myself, not the version I had curated for the world, but the self beneath the roles and the masks. And slowly, clarity came. Like moonlight on still water, what pain cracked you open? What strength rose from the silence that followed? Write it down. Hold it gently. That's not weakness. That's your sacred rebirth. If you're feeling this message, take a moment to like this video, subscribe for more Buddhist reflections, and share in the comments what moment transformed you. What would you have done differently? Or did it all happen just as it should? Remember this. Nothing is coincidence. Life is not random. Everything you lost, everything that broke, it didn't end you. It prepared you. You are not wounded. You are awakening. The soul doesn't shine despite the cracks. It shines because of them. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "I trust every twist," in the comments. 2. You were delayed to be divinely aligned. There are seasons in life when nothing seems to move. Doors stay shut. Efforts feel unseen. You wait and wait and wait. And somewhere in that silence, doubt creeps in. You begin to wonder, is this punishment? Have I been forgotten? But what if the life you wanted wasn't delayed, but protected? Buddhist wisdom teaches, not yet is sometimes the greatest gift. It's hard to see this when your plans crumble, or when the world applauds others while you sit in stillness. But timing isn't always about readiness of action. Sometimes it's about readiness of being. The universe doesn't move on your clock, it moves by alignment. Think of the bamboo tree. For the first several years, it grows underground, silently, invisibly. No leaves, no sign, just deep, hidden roots. And then, almost overnight, it shoots up with impossible speed. What looks like sudden success was quiet preparation all along. You too may be in your root-building phase, not visible, not celebrated, but essential. In Buddhism, this is the practice of patience without resistance. Life isn't testing you, it's teaching you to trust the unseen, teaching you to surrender the need for control. As you inhale now, silently say to yourself, I trust. As you exhale, whisper, in perfect timing. Again, I trust. In perfect timing. Can you feel the tightness begin to soften? There is a sacred power in being delayed. It makes you reflect, it deepens your insight, it carves out strength you didn't know you had. Because when you don't get what you want immediately, you begin to question what you truly need. This is how desire matures into wisdom. I remember speaking with someone who was devastated when a job opportunity slipped through their fingers. They felt like life had betrayed them. But months later, a different door opened, one that fit their values, their peace, and their growth in ways the earlier one never could. That no was a divine, not yet, and that delay became a turning point. What if your current waiting is sacred preparation? What are you being shaped to carry? Write it down. Let the question breathe inside you. You are not being left behind, you are being realigned. If these words resonate, like this video, subscribe and comment. What have you been waiting for? And what might that delay be teaching you? Let this truth echo gently within you. Nothing is coincidence. The universe is not late. It is deliberate, patient, loving. The path you're walking was never meant to be rushed. It was meant to make you ready. Some detours aren't distractions. They're directions toward the life that's already yours, but not yet unveiled. What falls away reveals what cannot be taken. There comes a time when something you cherish begins to slip through your fingers. A relationship you nurtured, a role you gave your all to, a dream you carried for years, suddenly begins to unravel. And the question stings deep. Why now? Why this? When I loved it the most. It feels like betrayal. But perhaps it's not life betraying you. Perhaps it's life beginning to reveal you. In Buddhist wisdom, impermanence is not a curse, it's a compass. Everything that falls away is making space for what cannot be taken. What is truly yours cannot be lost. What leaves was never meant to stay. What remains, that is your truth. Think of the tree in autumn. It sheds its leaves, not because it is dying, but because it is preparing for something deeper, a quiet blooming. The tree doesn't resist the fall, it releases. And in that surrender, it prepares its roots for the next season. In your life too, things may be falling not apart, but into alignment. Imagine your heart as a tree. Close your eyes, see the branches stretched wide. Now gently release one leaf, just one. Let it float down slowly. Let it go without judgment, without blame. Breathe. This is how healing begins, not by holding tighter, but by learning when to let go. There was a time I clung to something I had outgrown, a version of myself shaped by fear. I tried to hold the job, the role, the identity, but the more I clutched, the more life whispered, "This no longer holds you." And the moment I allowed it to fall, something profound happened. I didn't collapse, I opened. I realized that loss is not the absence of love, it is often its evolution. What have you been holding on to that no longer holds you? What space is quietly opening because of that release? Sit with these questions. Don't rush. Let the answers rise like spring from winter silence. And if you've ever felt like life took something away from you unfairly, pause. It may have been a form of grace too deep for words. You see, the soul doesn't grow through additions. It grows through subtractions, through space, through silence, through falling leaves. If these words awaken something within you, like this video, subscribe, and in the comments, share. What is one thing you are finally ready to let fall away? Remember this: the universe doesn't punish, it prunes, it removes to reveal. What falls was never meant to define you. What stays, that is your essence, and nothing real can ever be lost. 4. Rejection is the universe's recalibration. There are moments in life that feel like slamming doors, rejections that echo in the chambers of your heart. You didn't get the job, they didn't choose you. The opportunity vanished just as you were reaching for it, and in that stillness you may whisper, "Why me?" But pause for a moment and consider this. What if that no was never meant to break you, but to bend you towards something better? In the calm light of Buddhist wisdom, rejection is not a punishment, it is redirection. A closed door protects you from the fire behind it. Not every path is meant to be walked. Not every desire is meant to unfold. But every experience, even the painful ones, unfolds with meaning, with perfect precision, even if you cannot see it now. A river does not stop flowing when a rock blocks its path. It doesn't mourn, it doesn't resist. It simply curves, softly, powerfully, carving a new way forward. And eventually, that new path leads it to the ocean. Life works like this too. When you are pushed away from something, it may be so you can flow more freely into something else. Think back to the last time life told you no. Maybe it was a door you were convinced should open. Maybe it was someone you loved who turned away. Breathe into the possibility that the no was actually a greater yes, one that would not have revealed itself unless life had intervened. I once chased a path with all my heart. I believed it was my destiny, but the more I pressed forward, the more resistance I met. It was painful, it felt personal, but in time, I saw it clearly. That rejection had set me free. It led me to deeper purpose, to peace I never imagined, to alignment I didn't know I was missing. What if your greatest detour was your clearest direction? What beauty has emerged from your most painful no? Reflect on that, let it surface gently. Sometimes the very thing we call disappointment becomes the place where our true path begins. And if you are in the middle of a rejection right now, breathe. Don't fight the current. Trust where it is taking you. Life does not misplace people. It repositions them. And sometimes, being denied what you thought you wanted is the greatest act of compassion the universe can give. If this message opened something in your heart, pause and comment. What rejection, in hindsight, became your greatest blessing? Like this video and subscribe for more moments of mindful clarity. Remember, the universe doesn't block to punish, it blocks to guide. Trust the current, it knows where you are meant to go. 5. The soul chooses growth, not comfort. There is a reason peace often comes after the storm, not because storms are cruel, but because they are sacred, necessary. The soul, after all, does not seek comfort. It seeks expansion. And expansion, by its nature, stretches us beyond what feels safe, beyond what is easy. Like the lotus, it does not bloom in clean water. It rises, petal by trembling petal, from mud. We are taught to chase ease, to seek out only what is light and beautiful. But the soul is wiser. It leads us into the unknown, into discomfort, into growth, because it understands something most of us forget, that transformation rarely comes dressed as peace. It comes disguised as pressure, confusion, even pain. Think of a moment in your life when everything fell apart, not softly, but like a house crumbling. At the time, it felt like failure, like the end. But when the dust settled, didn't something new rise from that ruin? A truth, a strength, a version of you that hadn't existed before. This is the soul's path. It does not move in straight lines. It spirals. It circles back to old wounds, not to punish you, but to show you how much you've grown. It breaks comfort, not because it is unkind, but because comfort alone cannot make you whole. The soul doesn't want you safe. It wants you awake. Close your eyes. Sit with this for a moment. Ask softly, what is my soul trying to become? Let the answer rise, like a whisper from within. Maybe it is trying to become more courageous, more honest, more compassionate. But know this, growth never arrives without some shedding, without some mud. Where are you resisting discomfort instead of embracing growth? Is there a place in your life right now where you're trying to hold everything together, when perhaps it is meant to fall apart? Pain is not a punishment. Suffering is not senseless. Every emotion has something to teach you. Every challenge is shaping you. And every storm you survive cleanses something that no longer belongs. Breathe into the discomfort. Sit with it. Don't run. The deeper the ache, the greater the transformation it holds. Like the bamboo that cracks before it rises. You are not breaking. You are being reshaped. If this spoke to something quiet inside of you, let it move you. Like this video, subscribe for more spiritual wisdom and comment below. What part of you is being reborn through your struggle? Remember, nothing is coincidence, not even the storms, especially not the storms. The soul always knows what it came here to become. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "I trust every twist," in the comments. 6. Everything you lose returns as wisdom. Not everything you lose is gone. Some things return, not as people, not as possessions, but as wisdom, as clarity, as a quiet knowing that could not have been born without the ache of absence. Loss feels like a thief at first. It arrives uninvited, takes what was precious, and leaves you holding silence. But look again. Stay long enough in that silence, and you begin to hear something softer, something sacred emerge. We think loss is the end, but it is often the beginning. The soul's doorway into deeper seeing. Like a teacup once full and now spilled across the floor, we mourn what is gone. Yet, it is only through that emptying that space is made for a finer brew. Not always sweeter, but wiser. And wisdom, unlike comfort, lasts. Think of a loss you've carried. A person, a dream. A moment you thought you'd never recover from. What did it take from you? And now, what has it given? Perhaps it has given you strength, compassion, a deeper capacity to love others who are grieving. Perhaps it taught you who you truly are when all the scaffolding is stripped away. We are always afraid of letting go. But life, in its quiet design, knows when something has served its purpose. What falls away often falls away on time. We just don't recognize the schedule. We resist. We beg it to stay. And in doing so, we forget the deeper truth, that nothing meant for your growth will ever truly leave you. It will return, not as what it was, but as understanding. Close your eyes. Call to mind one deep loss. Now imagine it as a lantern. What did it illuminate in your life? What truth did it force you to see? Maybe it showed you the value of presence, the fragility of time, the beauty of loving without guarantee. Maybe it made you softer or braver. What wisdom did your most painful goodbye give you? And now, how are you living differently because of it? Breathe gently. Inhale and allow space for whatever rises. Exhale and release the tight grip of wishing things had gone another way. They went the way they needed to, not to punish you, but to wake you. Loss will visit all of us, but suffering becomes sacred when we let it teach us. When we don't just survive it, but transform through it. And this is how life moves, not in straight lines, but in spirals of learning and letting go. If these words open something inside you, offer a moment of stillness and let them settle, like this video. Subscribe for more Buddhist-inspired insight. And in the comments, share. What loss gave you your deepest wisdom? Remember, what you lose today may one day return as light. 7. The people who leave you leave lessons behind. Some souls don't come to stay. They arrive like shooting stars, brief, brilliant, unforgettable, and just as quickly they vanish. And yet, something of them lingers. A lesson, a shift, a quiet turning in the soil of your spirit. We grieve the goodbye, but what if they were never meant to stay? What if their purpose was not permanence, but awakening? Not every presence is meant to be permanent. Some are meant to stir the sleeping parts of us, to break open a truth we couldn't face alone. They hold up mirrors, not forever, but just long enough for us to see something essential. And then they leave. The mind resists this. The heart aches, but the soul remembers. Growth doesn't always come with comfort, and teachers don't always come with warning. Close your eyes. Think of one person who is no longer in your life. Someone you cared for, someone you lost through time, distance, conflict, or silence. Say softly to yourself, "Thank you for the gift I didn't understand then." Maybe they taught you strength by leaving. Maybe their betrayal taught you boundaries. Maybe their love, though short-lived, reminded you that your heart could open again. Sometimes, their absence teaches you what their presence never could. When they're gone, you see more clearly. The moments that once confused you make sense. You understand why the laughter mattered, why the pain was necessary, why the chapter had to end. And slowly, the wound turns into wisdom. The missing becomes meaning. You might ask, what lesson did they leave behind? It may be subtle, it may be loud, but it's there, tucked inside your becoming. No person crosses our path by accident. Everyone arrives carrying something, and everyone departs leaving something. That is the sacred choreography of life. Not coincidence, not cruelty, but cause and compassion. Let go of the belief that relationships must last to be meaningful. Some of the deepest shifts in your soul were triggered by those who appeared briefly but burned brightly. The monk you meet for one evening, the friend who disappears after one season, the stranger who says the exact words you needed to hear. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the end, but all who come leave footprints. Let your grief become gratitude. Let your longing become learning. If these words bring someone to mind, pause, reflect, and in that stillness, say thank you. Not because it ended, but because it began. Because you were changed. If this touched something inside you, like this video, subscribe for more Buddhist-inspired wisdom, and in the comments, share. What did someone leave behind when they left your life? Even shooting stars leave light behind. Let it guide you. 8. The universe doesn't punish, it redirects. Sometimes life stings in ways that feel deeply personal. A door shuts, a person leaves, a dream collapses, and in the echo of that emptiness, the mind asks, why me? But the universe is not cruel. It's conscious. It doesn't punish. It redirects. What looks like misfortune from the outside may be divine alignment unfolding from within. Imagine a sailboat on open waters. The wind shifts unexpectedly, forcing the boat off its planned course. The sailor tightens the ropes, adjusts the sails, and wonders if they're lost. But unseen to the eye, the new direction leads not to failure, but to safer shores. That's how Dharma works. It doesn't move in straight lines. It flows like rivers, bending, adapting, never forgetting the sea it seeks. Place your hand gently on your chest. Feel your breath rise and fall. Whisper softly, I am still being led. Even now, even through this. You are not lost. You are being rerouted, away from what would have broken you, toward what will become you. Pain is not personal. It's the path realigning itself. But we resist it, don't we? We take detours as defeats. We mistake slow chapters as signs of unworthiness. We call heartbreak karma and setbacks punishment. But what if the universe wasn't shutting you out? It was pulling you deeper in. Ask yourself gently, what pain have I misinterpreted as failure? Was it the job that slipped through your fingers? The relationship that dissolved? The timing that never seemed to work? Now ask, could it have been divine instruction? Could that very no be shaping a yes you've yet to understand? In Buddhist teaching, the law of Dharma is not about rewards or retribution. It's about awakening. Each experience is a bell calling you home to your path. The louder the pain, the clearer the call, but only if you pause, only if you listen. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The universe may have whispered before, but you didn't hear. So it sent a stronger wind, not to break you, but to break the illusion of control, so that something deeper could guide you now. Not your plans, but your presence. Not your ego, but your essence. So breathe. Let go of needing it to make sense today. Let go of blaming yourself. You are still in motion. You are still on course. And the detour is not a delay. It is a deeper way. If these words stirred something within you, like this video, subscribe for more Buddhist-rooted reflections. And in the comments, share. What detour in your life now feels like a redirection? The wind may change, but the soul always finds its way home. 9. The quieter you become, the more life speaks. Sometimes the loudest noise in life is not what's outside, but what echoes within. All day we chase answers. We ask, what should I do? Where should I go? What's next? But perhaps we've been looking in the wrong direction. Maybe the guidance we seek isn't somewhere out there, but quietly waiting within. The soul has its own language. It doesn't shout, it doesn't rush. It whispers, and only in stillness can we hear it. Just like a muddy pond becomes clear only when left undisturbed. Your mind, too, finds clarity not in effort, but in calm. The more still you become, the more clearly life begins to speak. Take a moment, sit in silence, even just for a few minutes. Breathe slowly. Don't try to fix anything, don't chase thoughts. just be with what arises. That ache in your chest, it has a voice. That longing you keep ignoring, it carries wisdom. That restlessness, it might be trying to move you towards something you've forgotten to feel. Ask yourself gently, when was the last time I truly listened? Not to the world, not to opinions, but to the quiet pull of your own being. The world may reward speed, but the soul blooms in slowness. And some of the most important truths don't come in lightning bolts. They arrive like morning mist, soft, subtle, and sacred. What if the very guidance you're searching for has been trying to reach you through silence? But the noise of expectations, of urgency, of fear has been drowning it out. What if your next step doesn't need more thinking, just more listening? Buddhist wisdom teaches that insight isn't something you earn, it's something you uncover. It was always there beneath the surface. The breath knows, the body knows, the stillness knows. But we must be quiet enough to remember. So today, give yourself that gift. Close your eyes, breathe in peace, breathe out everything else. For just a few minutes, trust that this silence is not emptiness. It is space, sacred space. And in that space, your truth will rise. Because the quieter you become, the more life speaks. If this reflection brought you stillness like this video, subscribe for more soul-rooted Buddhist wisdom. And in the comments below, share. What has silence revealed to you? That noise never could. Stillness is not absence. It's presence at its most powerful. Let it guide you. Let it ground you. Let it speak. 10. What you're chasing may be what you must become first. There is a longing in your heart, a vision, a dream, a quiet ache for something more. You chase it like a traveler moving toward a distant mountain, hoping, praying, working tirelessly to reach it. But what if that mountain isn't waiting for your arrival, but for your becoming? What if it doesn't open to the one who knocks, but to the one who transforms? Desire without readiness becomes suffering. And so the universe, in its quiet wisdom, often delays not out of cruelty, but compassion. A locked door isn't always rejection. Sometimes it's protection. Like a fruit picked too early, what we grasp for before we're prepared only sours in our hands. The delay is not a punishment. It is an invitation to grow into the one who can carry what they're asking for. Close your eyes. Breathe gently. Now, imagine the version of you who already holds what you seek. What do they look like? How do they walk? What do they no longer cling to? You'll see. It's not just about what you're chasing. It's about who you must become to meet it without fear, without attachment, without collapse. The soul is not interested in shortcuts. It knows the gold is not at the peak, it's in the climb. Every struggle, every rejection, every painful pause is chiseling away what you are not. So what you truly are can emerge. The more you resist the lesson, the longer the becoming. But the moment you stop asking, when will I get it, and start asking, what must I learn? The door begins to shift. In the teachings of the Buddha, transformation is not about achievement, it's about alignment. The outer world mirrors the inner state, and so the question is not, how do I reach my desire, but am I becoming the one who can hold it with grace? What you seek is not outside, it is encoded within you as a seed. The longing is just the whisper of your future self calling you forward. Let go of timelines. Let go of frantic effort. Instead, lean into the becoming. Ask with love, who must I become to receive what I want? And more importantly, what part of that transformation am I still resisting? Perhaps it's the letting go of old stories. Perhaps it's the courage to feel the unprocessed. Perhaps it's the discipline to stay when it's hard. But trust this, what you're chasing is not running from you. It is waiting for you to rise, to soften, to become. And when you do, you won't need to chase it anymore. You will meet it calmly, powerfully, deservingly, because you'll have finally become the one it was always meant for. 11. You are already walking the path you once prayed for. There's a strange blindness we carry when we move too fast. We walk through answered prayers like they're just another step on the road, never realizing that the very ground beneath us is sacred. What you have now was once the dream. The peace you feel in moments, the people beside you, the strength you carry quietly. These were once the very things you whispered for in the dark. But the mind, ever hungry for more, keeps scanning the horizon, asking, what's next? And in doing so, we forget to kneel in gratitude for the now. Imagine a traveler who never puts away the map. They reach the village, smell the blossoms, feel the sun on their skin, but their eyes remain fixed on directions, searching for a destination that has already arrived. That is how many of us live. We are walking the path we once begged for, but we're too focused on the future to feel its grace beneath our feet. Pause for a moment. Breathe gently. Name 3 things in your life today, right now, that were once nothing but hopes. It could be a relationship, a healed wound, a quiet morning, a dream project, or simply your growth. These are not ordinary things. These are proof that your prayers were heard, that the universe has been listening all along. But to feel that miracle, you must slow down enough to receive it. Many are searching for fulfillment while standing in the very place it lives. Have you paused to receive what you already have? Have you allowed yourself to arrive? Because the soul doesn't just want achievement, it wants presence, and presence is where joy lives. In Buddhist teaching, we are reminded again and again, the present moment is enough. The sacred is not somewhere else, it is here, hidden in your breath, in the sound of birds at dawn, in the softness of someone's hand in yours, in the way you got through what you once thought you never would. Miracles are not loud, they are quiet, humble, and easily missed when you rush. So ask yourself today, not what you still lack, but what you now hold. Not where you're going, but where you've already been guided. Perhaps the searching can stop, just for a while. Perhaps you don't need to keep proving, chasing, climbing. Perhaps you are already here, and that is holy. When you stop looking only ahead, you begin to see the beauty blooming at your feet. The life you once prayed for may already be your reality. Now is the time to live it, to feel it, to honor it, and to whisper softly, thank you. Bonus lesson. The one meant for you is already on their way. There's a quiet truth the soul knows, but the mind often forgets, that what you seek is seeking you too. We spend so much of life reaching, running, searching for love, for meaning, for our place in the world. But beneath all that movement, there is something deeper unfolding, a divine choreography, a mysterious timing that is not random but written. The sacred always finds its seeker, not through force but through alignment. Imagine a flame and the wind. They move with their own rhythm, sometimes together, sometimes apart. But there is always a gravity between them, pulling them back toward one another. This is how the universe works. What is meant for you is not just sitting still, it's moving toward you, just as you move toward it. But often, the more desperately we search, the more we push it away. Searching from fear clouds our path. Searching from lack blinds our eyes. There is a different way, still yet certain. A way where you become the magnet, not the chaser. And that begins by becoming still enough to receive. Take a deep breath. Whisper quietly within. What is mine is already finding me. Say it again. Not as a wish, but as a remembering. Because it's true. What if you no longer needed to chase? What if you trusted that the threads are already being pulled together? That love, purpose, clarity, they are not behind locked doors, but already walking toward you in their own time. Stillness is not idleness. It is trust. It is power. In the silence of your heart, you allow space for the arrival, the right person, the right opportunity, the deeper knowing. These things don't come through noise, but through presence. Can you make room for them? What would happen if you stopped searching? What beauty might emerge from your stillness? What clarity might rise when you no longer cling? There is no need to perform your worthiness. You already are. And that quiet truth is enough to call what's yours toward you. In the sacred texts, it is said, "What is yours cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant to stay." So let the wind carry its gifts. Let the dance unfold. Let the mystery work through your stillness. Because you are not waiting, you are aligning. The one meant for you, the path meant for you, the healing meant for you, is already on its way. And maybe, just maybe, it's closer than you think. All you must do is be here when it arrives. Quick summary of the lessons. The moment that broke you was the moment that opened you. Pain often arrives not to punish, but to awaken. The deepest growth comes from the most unexpected cracks in your life. What breaks you also frees you. Healing is hidden in the places you once avoided. You were delayed to be divinely aligned. Not everything you're waiting for is being withheld. Often, life holds things back to give them to you at the right moment. Delay is not denial. It is divine orchestration. Trust the unseen timing. What falls away reveals what cannot be taken. When something leaves your life, it's often making space for something far more aligned. Nothing real can ever be lost. Letting go allows truth to rise. You're not losing, you're clearing the path. Rejection is the universe's recalibration. Not every closed door is a loss. Some are protection. Life often says no to the things that would pull you away from your true path. Redirection is a form of grace guiding your soul. The soul chooses growth, not comfort. Comfort doesn't awaken the spirit. Challenge does. Growth requires discomfort and courage. Your soul isn't here to stay safe. It's here to evolve. Accept the discomfort as the price of transformation. Everything you lose returns as wisdom. Loss isn't the end. It's the beginning of understanding. Every ending holds the seed of inner clarity. What's taken away often returns in the form of strength, compassion, and deeper knowing. The people who leave you leave lessons behind. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some souls come to deliver a message, change your direction, or mirror your wounds. Their departure often teaches you what their presence could not. The universe doesn't punish, it redirects. Suffering isn't always a sign of failure. It can be a sign of spiritual correction. Life doesn't break you out of cruelty, but out of necessity. It moves you to where you truly belong. The quieter you become, the more life speaks. Stillness reveals what noise hides. When you slow down, wisdom arises naturally. The answers you're chasing begin to surface in silence. Inner peace speaks where outer chaos ends. What you're chasing may be what you must become. First, you cannot receive what you haven't become ready to hold. Often, we want something before we've grown into the version of ourselves that can sustain it. Become, and it will come. You are already walking the path you once prayed for. So often, we miss the miracles we're living now. What once felt like an impossible dream may now be your reality. Gratitude grounds you. Awareness brings presence to the blessings already here. The one meant for you is already on their way. What you're seeking is already in motion toward you. The timing isn't yours to control, but the trust is. Letting go allows life to deliver what belongs to your soul without force. There comes a moment in the journey when you realize not a single step was wasted. The heartbreaks, the delays, the quiet seasons where nothing made sense, they were all part of your spiritual architecture. Life was never working against you, it was working through you. In Buddhist thought, this is the dance of karma and dharma, where every cause creates a purpose and every effect carries a hidden blessing. What seems like coincidence is often the divine wearing silence. The people you met, the things you lost, the paths that changed direction, all aligned you with something you were meant to awaken into. Peace isn't found in controlling the narrative, but in trusting that you are held by a wisdom deeper than the mind can comprehend. There is a sacred intelligence guiding your chaos into calm. Everything that comes to you is your teacher. Everything that leaves is your liberation. So walk gently, trust your timing, honor your unfolding. You are not late, you are not lost. You are arriving, moment by moment, into the life that has always been waiting for you. If this message touched your heart, remind yourself to like and share this video and let us know your reflection in the comments. Subscribe to Deep Wisdom for more inspiring Buddhist insights on living a peaceful, purposeful life. Your timing was perfect.